We decided to do the campaign with American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney. So their motivation to launch this campaign was to get a famous figure such as Sydney Sweeney um to advertise for the company that was not getting as much attention. Um to better help this, they decided to make a play on words for the advertisement to make it more catchy, which was um talking about genes, not only um biological but also physical genes. And they also wanted to get an attention of a larger age range, because everyone can wear American Eagle. This advertisement is a combo of a business objective because they decided to do it with a celebrity, um, and expand into younger demographics as many younger people like Sydney Sweeney a lot. Also with the marketing objective, it was to increase awareness of the brand, um, and strengthen the perception of the brand with the values that align with Sydney Sweeney. And then it also was a combination of the communication objective because there was a shift in the perception of the brand when Sydney Sweeney decided that she was going to do this campaign, because it got more attention. And then it also built a connection emotionally with the actor as well as the audience because more people were paying attention and it drove more people to look at it.
So some of the dangers of launching a campaign like American Eagle is the staining of the brand's image. Even though they deleted the commercial after the backlash, it's still permanently online for everyone to see. They stated that the meaning of eugenics people took out of the ad wasn't their intention, but even so, if they got into any future controversies, this ad would not help them clean up their image. This campaign was also compared to the Calvin Klein ad in 1980 with Brooke Shields, and it was met with a lot of the same criticism, like what people believe to be hypersexualization. If this ever gets brought up again, the American Eagle commercial will be one of the first to face scrutiny for sure. Another danger of launching this campaign is having a direct tie to Sydney Sweeney. Sweeney has also done other controversial advertising, most notably her collab with Dr. Squatch, where they sold soap bars containing her bathwater. If Sweeney's image gets tarnished, maybe not for this ad, but a future controversy, this could bring up other campaigns that she had previously, like the American Eagle one, and bring a lot of scrutiny to the brand. Also, Sweeney has been and will be asked questions about the campaign, like why they did it. If a question she answers gets a lot of backlash or attention, this could draw a negative light to American Eagle. However, one good thing American Eagle definitely would get from this ad is the consistent free press from this style. The literal word tied to the controversy is great genes. So it's like a constant promotion. Every single time someone makes an article online, which there's hundreds of, or Sweeney gets asked an interview question, they're talking about and reminding the American public of American Eagle and their great genes. Both Sweeney and American Eagle have gotten positive and negative press from this ad. Even though American Eagle isn't promoting this ad anymore, everyone else online is for them.
The campaign ad by American Eagle featured Sydney Sweeney wearing their denim jeans, stating that she has great genes. The ad quickly gained controversy as people were upset about the lack of diversity in the campaign. Sydney Sweeney is a blonde white woman who is thin with blue eyes, which is not representative of American Eagle's previous inclusive advertisements. The campaign also was condemned by the comments that Sydney Sweeney made, saying that she has great genes. People interpreted it as her saying she has great genetics. In the ad, she also states, passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color, alluding to her having superior genetics. The campaign caused American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney to convey white supremacy and ethnocentrism. The ad also caused political tension as Donald Trump responded to the ad, praising it and Sydney Sweeney. Donald Trump's response to the ad was that he thought it was fantastic because she is a registered Republican. People were upset that her only response to this was that it felt surreal and did not further comment on her political beliefs. This ad, as said before, also created controversy because people found it to be very similar to the Brooke Shields ad in 1980s, when she is only 15 years old. In both, there is a play on words of having great genetics, whether it means genetically or not. Both of these actors also had a seductive tone of voice, and the ads were very sexualized. The Calvin Klein ad and American Eagle ad provoked controversy in similar aspects, as people assumed they had good genes because they are both white, thin women. Overall, the American Eagle ad with Sydney Sweeney was very controversial and had people very upset at the brand and the actor. The company did not speak about their mistakes they made in this campaign and tried to move on.
American Eagle launched the campaign with pretty standard paid advertising, such as TikTok ads, Instagram posts, and the usual 90s fire denim photography. These placements positioned Sydney Sweeney as a Gen Z denim ambassador, and they did exactly what paid ads should do, which was create awareness. But the paid ads themselves didn't generate strong reactions. What actually took off was the earned media. The slogan "Sydney Sweeney has great genes" immediately got flipped online into "great genes, genetically speaking," which created a double meaning that people turned into memes. And that twist went viral on TikTok, X, and Reels, reaching huge audiences who had never seen American Eagle's paid advertising campaign. The controversy then boosted the campaign even further. According to The Guardian, the pun shifted from genes to genes, sparking criticism linked to eugenics. And AP News reported that some critics saw the wordplay as a nod to eugenics. Whether people agreed with the criticism or not, the backlash created massive earned media exposure. Fashion creators, meme accounts, and news outlets all amplified the conversation. So overall, American Eagle used standard advertising to launch the campaign, but the explosion in earned media, especially with all of the memes and controversy, was what really drove the campaign's reach and cultural impact.
So, some advice that we can learn and give to the marketers of these brands is to balance virality with public goodwill. And there's often a really fine line between humor and insensitivity that brands need to be really careful to walk. And in this case, American Eagle was aware that they were kind of towing that line. And I think for different groups of people, they definitely crossed it. And that just has to be something that you have to be aware of and be okay with, that you might alienate some groups of people when you're doing these controversial campaigns. Another thing is to stand firmly behind your strategic decisions. So, shortly after the campaign was posted, they removed the video from their social media pages, which which gives the impression that what they did was a mistake, even though they continued on with other forms of the campaign and other forms of media. It made it seem as they didn't have an intentional plan. Um, and then also is to embrace the stunt aspect and then acknowledge it. Um, Unlike some other rage bait campaigns where there will be a reveal at the end, when informing the public that it was intentional and that the brands knew what they were doing the whole time. There was never really the case with this, even though it was intentional prior to the release of the campaign. American Eagle's CMO said that the ad was going to contain clever, even provocative language. So this was obviously planned out extensively in advance, but to the public, it did not give that impression. And also going off of that is to test potentially controversial content before release. This can help gauge potential public reaction, but then also to prepare a plan for when controversy does come. In this case, although they intended it for it to be controversial, it didn't seem that they had a really clear plan of how to handle it after.